I just wanted to update people that the Danish consulate is behind us and upstairs. They were unavailable today, so a delegation of us from a number of different organizations, including Greenpeace, One Sky, Mobilization for Climate Justice, went and delivered a giant letter. And I'm wondering, David, would you grab and unroll the giant version? Ahead, which is a photograph of the Danish Police beating accredited NGO delegates who attempted to leave the Bella Center and march to join the outdoor People's Forum to hear the voices that weren't being heard inside.
The prospect of this People's Assembly was so terrifying to the Danish authorities that they preemptively arrested activists for doing nothing more than being climate justice activists. Over the last 2 weeks, more than 1,500 people have been put into detention by the Danish authorities for being nothing more than climate activists.
We're out today because we are standing in solidarity with the 16 climate justice activists who are still being held by the Danish authorities. Over 100,000 activists actually took to the streets in Copenhagen demanding a fair, just, binding, and ambitious climate deal. The vast majority of these people were non-violent, peaceful protesters, and the Danish authorities really got out of hand. And so even today, even as the talks are finished, there are still activists that are being held in custody, and we're out today to stand in solidarity with them.
I just want to say that I'm here in solidarity for the first objective, and that is to call for the release of the climate change prisoners in Denmark and Copenhagen. It is unconscionable that there would be anybody in prison for simply exercising their right to dissent, but not just to dissent, to exercise their voice, but to exercise their voice on behalf of the billions of people who can feel completely left out and neglected by what just occurred in Copenhagen.
On the third to last day of the talks, Friends of the Earth, which is my organization, who had an official delegation of about 50 observers, accredited NGO participants with badges, with secondary passes that were valid for that day, that allowed them admission that day, showed up in the UN Negotiation Center and found that their badges didn't work anymore. And without any explanation, without any warning, they were just simply suspended.
We now know that the UN system for climate negotiations is failing, and we need alternatives. We need to turn this into a grassroots democratic movement. That's the only way that we're going to go more forward and avert catastrophic climate change at this stage.
Failure is not an option here, and we need to send this message. We need to be loud, and we need to mobilize, and that is exactly what we did today. That's exactly what we're going to keep on doing, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
I know that there's a place in the sun for all that you've done.